Welcome back, my gentle people. This is Corner Stories, and today we have two stories and they both come with updates. So let's get into it. My wife, together 12 years, married 7 years, is leaving me for someone she has known for 3 months. A slight preface. My wife and her brother were very close when young. He got very into alcohol, went to prison for 10 years, went immediately back to drinking, then died in front of her. My wife, 30, and I, 33, started going to the gym together. We were loving the results of the fitness. It made sex even better and we couldn't keep our hands off each other. We felt as happy and close as ever. 3 weeks after her brother died, this guy chats her up at the gym and she immediately clicks with him. I was wary, but I trusted my wife. She is a sweetheart and never imagined her having the ability to have an affair. Last weekend we had one of the most romantic days and evenings we have had in a while. This week she decides that she cannot go on without finding out why she developed such a quick connection with this guy. We own a house and 3 pets. Her family and everyone we know are devastated and blown away, but she is dead serious. The woman I knew last week even, has left the building. This is a living nightmare that I just want to wake up from. We did couples counseling 3 times, and have one schedule on Wednesday, but she has completely made up her mind and seems to have rapidly fell out of love with me. My life as I had known it is over. I just needed to get this all off my chest. Comments: nothing will soothe your pain right now, but I want to say this anyway. I was with my wife for 20 years, 2 kids. She slowly developed a drinking problem and it eventually, as I predicted for years, destroyed our marriage. Even now, 2.5 years later, I can't believe my life turned out this way. But I met someone new that I love, and am very happy. Your life feels like it's over, but it's not. You will bounce back. You got this. Comment 2: oh boy, this is going to be a rough road ahead. She is looking for an escape and this guy is going to give her one. She doesn't like him, she likes the escape. She will 100% be back. Only you will know if it's too late. Comment 3. This is exactly it. She's not looking to cheat. She's looking to get away from that trauma and grief. Run away and not deal with it. Update: 8 months later I had a kind Redditor reach out to me over the weekend asking how I was doing regarding the above situation. The original post got a lot of attention, so I figured I would give an update. My wife filed for divorce a month after moving out. During this time I did the whole online dating thing, which was way worse than I could have ever expected. Kept myself busy working out, building my own confidence, hanging out with friends. In general, it was horrible, but I was trying to keep my head up. I was in therapy. Didn't jive with my first therapist, found a new one in December who I liked a lot more and am still seeing her. Mid-December, my wife calls me, crying, asking if she can stay in the guest bedroom because she has nowhere to go. I say yes, even though she hurt me so badly, I did still love her. So things with guy at the gym turned very toxic very fast. I know the word narcissist gets thrown around a lot these days, this guy though. It's hard to believe these subhuman pieces of trash actually exist. So she stays in the guest bedroom for a week, then goes and stays at her parents' for a month. She had a nervous breakdown and was able to get a medical leave of absence from her work. Mid-January comes around and she is back at the house, but still in a very frantic and erratic state. Sort of like she was withdrawing off hard drugs. I had no idea about the addictive nature of toxic relationships. It's a psychological clusterfuck. She is clear that she is too fucked up in the head to be in a relationship and is going to work on herself. I give her the time and space she requested, she goes all in on learning about the psychology of all of this shit. Inner child work, how the nervous system reacts and attracts you to toxic people if you grew up in a toxic household. Anxious and avoidant attachment styles. There is this book called How to Stay Married, where the wife had an affair and it turns out the root of the issue was her unresolved childhood trauma. Long story short, same thing happened here. It hurts, but I can forgive her. She is my best friend, and we are insanely compatible in a lot of ways. She has really been returning to herself the past month, she is the happiest I have seen in her at least a year, and last week we filed the paperwork to dismiss the divorce. We are both in individual counseling, and soon to start couples therapy. I am sure a lot of people will think I am making a mistake in reconciling, but I am happy. I do trust her that she now has the knowledge to not let this happen again, and she has the drive to become the best person she can be. Edit: I am reading all the comments and taking everything to heart. Even especially the ones calling me stupid, chump, doormat. I completely understand where you are coming from. I just don't have time or desire to respond to so much. I want things to work out and do trust my gut that this was a one-time thing. I will post an update and take all of the "I told you so" if it comes to that. Comments. I have a feeling that she only came back because her new love didn't work out. I mean, she did drop you like a bad habit. Hopefully she is genuinely sorry for what she has done, but it will always be in the back of your mind. Comment 2. She is reading books on how women manipulated their husbands into forgiving their cheating, and he thinks it is some big psychological breakthrough that absolves her from being a horrible person. And with that we will move to the next story. Don't forget to drop a comment and let me know what you think of this story. Now let's get back into it. Story 2. I cheated on my husband and I think he is cheating back on me. I know I did something awful and disgusting, and when I couldn't take the guilt anymore I cut off my affair partner and confessed everything to my husband. He got more upset and depressed than angry, and I begged for him to not divorce me. I proposed counseling, therapy, even allowing him to have sex with other women, but he wasn't interested. He said he wanted to try to work us out and I jumped in being the best wife a man can ask for. I cook his favorite dishes, leave him loving notes, and bought new lingerie to entice him. His reactions are lukewarm at best. He smiles and thanks me, but not once he has said he loves me since I have confessed. He barely initiates anything and I basically have to push myself on him, not that he complains. Sometimes we talk about this, but I think I still lost the man I love. His behavior with me feels very artificial and nothing changes his facade. I can be playful, I can be sad, I can get angry and I can get seductive. His reaction is always the stupid smile and polite words. He was so emotional and sincere before all of this happened. I want him to let out his true emotions with me, even if he hates me. I still love him so much. What can I do to fix this? Relevant comments. How long have you been together and how long was the affair? Who is the other man? Coworker? OP's response: we have been married for 5 years, my affair lasted a couple of months and it was with a client. Comment 2. Okay, thank you. What do you mean by cutting off the affair? Is this person still a client? Do you have to have business contact with him? Are you seeing a therapist? Do you know why you strayed? OP's response: I ended my relationship with the client and passed his contract to a coworker, no contact ever since. I have been doing individual therapy. I don't know why I did all this. My body felt like it was on autopilot, like I wrote on my last post. I do my best to be the best wife he could ask for. I cook his favorite foods, get him gifts, screw his brains out every night. He just smiles and thanks me. He acts kind and never yells at me, but I feel his icy indifference under that mask of courtesy. 2 weeks ago he started coming home late. Very late. And when he does he just goes to bed. I asked him what's going on, and he told me in the kindest way possible that it's not my business. I call him when he stays out and he picked up only once. I heard a woman laughing in the background. I am starting to think he is cheating back on me. It fucking hurts. If he told me, at least I would do my best to stomach it. I deserve this after all. But he won't tell me, he just shuts me out. A common friend told me she spotted him in a car with a woman she didn't recognize, and this felt like a stab in the heart. She said she couldn't describe her exactly because she wore big sunglasses, but she recognized my husband because of his particular taste in necktie. They were talking, but my friend said that from their position it looked like they were holding their hands or one of them was touching the other's lap. I don't know what to do. If he is having an affair I deserve it, but I need to know. The uncertainty is killing me. Should I confront him? Should I try to find out more? Update. He left me. I did like you guys said and begged him to talk to me. He didn't want to, but I cried and yelled so much I puked all over. He got softer with me, he helped me clean up and we talked. I asked him if he was cheating on me and he said he was talking with someone, but didn't do anything with her. I asked if she was the woman my friend saw him with. He thought on it a little but said no, it was another woman whom he met a month ago in his office. I asked him how could he and said I gave him permission, and he didn't do anything besides unloading his problems and our situation with her. But he played it like he was having a full affair, so I could feel what he felt, especially because according to him I neglected him and made it obvious I was cheating on him. He said he was suffering and I was almost rubbing it in his face. I told him I wasn't doing it on purpose and he said this was even worse because I didn't care at all. He said that everything I did after confessing meant nothing and just made him think I am selfish, self-centered and lack any sort of self-respect. I asked him if we could work on myself and our marriage, but he said we can have counseling to sort ourselves out, but the marriage is over. He said he wishes no ill on me, and decided to cut his charade because he could no longer bear to the woman he once loved suffer like that. But he said I am no longer that woman. I started sobbing again and he held me, but he kept saying no when I asked him we work this out. I asked him what he was going to do and he's moving out, he already found a new place. I asked him if he was going to live with that woman and he said but she was close enough. I asked him how he could pick a total stranger he met a month ago over his wife of 5 years. He said his wife of 5 years no longer exists, he has to pick between two strangers, and that woman made a much better impression on him. I told him he was a fool and he could not know this woman will probably use and dump him. He got harsh and said she's better than me for sure. He said he won't say to our families our marriage ended because I cheated, but because we grew apart, and that he will leave the house to me as long as I make the divorce smooth. But if I try to take him to the cleaners, drag it out, or cause any problem, he will tell everyone what I did and destroy me and my reputation. This happened yesterday and he has already packed up almost everything. I can't stop crying and I can't believe this is happening. This is horrible and unfair. Relevant comment. One last comment from OP. You guys are right saying that I suck. But he has fault too, he never really wanted to fix this. He used me for months and then discarded me. And yet I want him back and forgive and forget all the hurt we done to each other. As for his girl, I don't think she will be good for him. And now for the final story. This will be a quick one and it really had me wondering if the OP jumped the gun, but I digress. Story 3. My fiance told her friend group that I am not the greatest at sex, but she is with me for the complete package. Am I wrong for calling off the engagement? I, 27M, have been engaged to my fiancée Amy, 26F, for a year, and was in relationship with her for 5 years. We were due to be married this August. Now, I am also friends with Kylie, 26F. We have been friends for a very long time, pretty much since we were babies, and we're almost like siblings at this point, because her mother and my mother were best friends since they were in high school. Anyways, Kylie is part of the same tight-knit friend group as Amy. I always try to ask Kylie what Amy tells about me, because I know women like to discuss about their boyfriends with their friend group. Kylie is usually tight-lipped, but if she does say anything, she always says how Amy loves me a lot, and how Amy is so excited about marriage. Last month, I hung out with Kylie and her boyfriend at their house. Amy and I usually hang out with them for dinners, but Amy had gone out of town for a couple of days. Anyways, we all got pretty drunk and laughing a lot, and I was begging Kylie to tell me one bad thing Amy has told about me to her friends. After a lot of pleading, Kylie finally said that one thing Amy had joked about was how she had better sex before, and I was not the greatest at sex, but that she was with for me the complete package, because she doesn't care about sex too much. I was drunk then, so I just laughed it off, but I felt somewhat stung then. The next day, when I got sober, I felt extremely stung. I thought about a lot, and when Amy came back from her vacation, I asked her about it casually. She initially denied it, and said we always have amazing sex, and she's always satisfied. I told her it really wouldn't hurt me if she told me the truth, and marriage was built on honesty, so I asked her again a couple of times. Amy finally admitted that she did in fact say that I was not the best at sex to her friend group, but she was just joking about it, because I had so many other great qualities she wanted to highlight. I laughed it off initially, but that stung me even more. I couldn't hide my mood the next couple of days. I felt sad and felt like shit. Amy apologized a lot, and said she did not mean what she said. A couple of days later, I told Amy I could no longer be with her, and what she told her friend group hurt me too much. I informed everyone over the next week that I was calling off the wedding. Amy was distraught, and tried to convince me multiple times and apologized a lot. But I was too mentally downtrodden. Was I wrong for calling off the engagement and breaking up with Amy? And that is the end of the story. That's it guys, this is where I will leave you. I hope you enjoyed the stories I had for you. I certainly enjoyed them. Please be sure to drop a like or a comment, and it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I will see you. Corner Stories signing off.